Hi everyone, Logan here. The target I'm imaging at the moment has been a lot more of a challenge compared to some of the other targets I've been doing recently because of its very low surface brightness. It's a very faint target. It's a reasonable size, but extremely faint, and it's Abell 35 or Sharpless 2-3.3. And although I've seen it listed as having a magnitude of 13.3, I've seen a lot of other information saying its visual magnitude is actually, or its medium surface brightness gives it a visual magnitude of 26.2, so very faint. And so I think it's quite a challenge to actually see visually, and you need quite a large telescope to see it. I'm hoping that it'll be a lot easier to image for me, because I've got the narrowband filters and a bit more of that hydrogen, the oxygen will come through, and a camera being a lot more sensitive than our eyes. This target is quite interesting from a couple of points. First of all, although it's listed often as a planetary nebula, I think it's been debated a bit, and I think some people think it's more of an example of what's called a Stromgren sphere.
Fascinating. Now,
I'd never heard of a Stromgren sphere up until I started imaging this. And from what I understand, unlike a planetary nebula where I think a lot of the hydrogen that surrounds or makes up the nebula is actually thrown off a central star and then sort of glows as a result of radiation coming from that star. This is actually a star just producing the ionizing radiation, and it's lighting up the interstellar hydrogen that is around it. Now, the center of this target is actually a binary star system. So there's a red subgiant and a white dwarf, and I think it's the white dwarf that's producing the ionizing radiation, which is causing it to glow with this red outer shell. So in many ways it looks a bit like the Helix Nebula, with the bluey green in the middle and the nice red shell on the outside.
The other interesting feature about Abell 35 can be seen in the stacked OIII data. In the centre here is the bright central star. This is, I presume, to be the subgiant, and it's apparently spinning very fast, and I think some people believe that it's producing a stellar wind which is interacting with the inner zone of the nebula here and producing a bow shock wave, much like you see with a large boat travelling through water. So yeah, there's some interesting features of this target, and hopefully my final image will show these.